Shalom Israel first. First, I want to give all praise and glory and honor to Yahweh, Bashmi Al-Shah, Bashmi Kakodash. I want to see Apostle Oscar Millstone, peace, citation to 1/3 of Israel. For this lesson, I want to title it Equity is Coming. All right. And basically, I was just meditating, on social media, and, you'll see people in the comments complaining about, oh, humanity is going to be doomed, blah, 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 when that's not the case at all. When the Lord come back, ultimately, humanity is gonna thrive. Beginning with the elect, beginning with the nation of Israel, and then the rest of the nation, they're gonna be able to enjoy life. Besides Esau, you are fucked. All right, no ifs, ands, or buts. But these heathens, they gotta play out their captivity, their punishment for what they did to us. All right, they're gonna build our kingdom like we built theirs, and after they serve punishment, they gonna enjoy serving us, because that's what they were created to do. So in I believe it's 2nd Ezra, the 6th chapter, on the latter verses on down, talking about the world was created for our sakes. Why do we not possess an inheritance? All right. Jeremiah 30:16. All they that devour thee shall be devoured. All thine adversaries shall go into captivity. Every one of them. Roughly paraphrasing. I'm driving, so I'm just gonna quote right now. But this is Wisdom of Solomon 9:1. All right, because ultimately, when the Lord created the earth, he put an order, and there's an instruction manual on how to rule the earth. All right, and it's through the law, statutes, commandments. All right, but Esau, he turned everything upside down. Now everything's suffering because his ways are off. They're contrary, they're contrary to life. Like look at the whole justice system. It's not true justice. It's all corrupt. People taking bribes, and it's all off. All right. But this is Wisdom of Solomon 9:1. It says, "O power of my fathers and Lord of mercy, who has made all things with thy word, and ordained man through thy wisdom, that he should have dominion over the creatures which thou hast made." All right, and this man is talking about the Israelite man. All right, because these heathens, they ain't gonna follow suit. So, and it's not prophesied for them to do that. So therefore, who's this talking to? It's talking about the Israelites. Because when the Israelites come into power, then that's when everything's gonna flourish ultimately. But this is reading on down. It says, and order the world according to equity and righteousness, and execute judgment with an upright heart. All right, and right now there is no equity, uprightness, righteousness. None of these virtues are here, in Babylon. One scripture that comes to mind is, King Solomon, he said, out of 1,000 men I found none righteous. All right, so, or out of 1,000 men I found one righteous, and out of 1,000 women I found none righteous. So, if that don't tell you, where we at, I don't know what does. All right, granted, he was talking about his time, but how much more now? All right, we in the time, like as in the days of Noah. The Lord only saved 8 souls. So how much more now? Scripture says in 2nd Ezra, it says as a drop to a wave. That's basically the comparison of how many people are going to be saved and how many people are going to be destroyed. And that drop to a wave. The drop is the elect, in which we strive to be, and that's a very small remnant compared to the rest of the world. All right, but ultimately, that's why the Lord gotta come back and set this place in order, set this place right. And how is that going to take place? By taking these devils down. All right, because Job 9:24 says the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. All right, so if you don't get that name, or you don't get the name the wicked for no reason. You got to be doing something, to receive that name. All right, and look how he's ruling the earth. He's destroying the earth. All right. Let me get that right quick. Revelation, I believe it's 18. No, it's 11 and 18. This is Revelation 11:18. It says, and the nations were angry, and thy wrath is come, and the time of the dead that they should be judged, and that thou shouldest give reward unto the servants, the prophets, and to the saints, and to them that fear thy name, small and great. All right, that's the elect. It says, and shouldest destroy them which destroy the earth. And Job 9:20, the earth is given to the hand of the wicked, and Esau is destroying the earth. All right, so therefore, going back to, these people on the comments that talk about, all humanity is destroying the world, blah, blah, blah. No, it's Esau Edom, so-called white man, that's doing that. All right, he's the one that's producing plastic, that's tainting the foods, basically destroying life. I saw a video. There's one Edomite in Hawaii, and you got an animal that's endangered, right? An endangered species animal. All right, mind you, in the kingdom you ain't gonna have no endangered animals. The only extinct animals that's gonna take place is the nation of Edom. All right, because they're just the cancer of the world, the cancer of the earth, and their track record proves it. All right, but this nigga he threw a rock, a big ass rock, mind you, at the animal, and they got it on film, and one of the locals, they basically two pieces nigga. All right, which is great. All right, because this devil, he needs to be put down. He needs to stop. All right, but reading on down, or going to so like it. But this dude, he tripping. This is Isaiah 59 and 14. It says, and judgment is turned away backward, and justice standeth afar off. For truth is fallen in the street, and equity cannot enter. Yea, truth faileth, and he that departeth from evil maketh himself a prey. And the Lord saw it, and it displeased him that there was no judgment. All right, so truth is fallen in the street, and equity cannot enter. All right, and the scripture that comes to mind right quick is Nahum. Let's get that. Nahum 3:1. There you go. Nahum 3:1. It says, "Woe to Nineveh!" All right, and Babylon Great, aka America, is conspiracy to be called Nineveh. All right, it says, "Woe to the bloody city! It is all full of lies and robbery. The prey departeth not." All right, and this place is all full of lies and robbery. All right, and Esau is being exposed. All right, Esau's being exposed for who he truly is, and that's how you know we at this man's the end of this man's kingdom is because 2 Thessalonians, the 2nd chapter, and the 3rd verse says that the man is that day should not come. That day, talking about the day of the Lord, should not come except there come a falling away first, and that man of sin be revealed. All right, and the man of sin is Esau Edom. He's being revealed right now, and look how everything is happening, or look what's taking place on earth right now. All hell's about to break loose. All right, and the Lord is coming to redeem his elect. But this is 14 verse again. The last part. It says equity cannot enter. All right. Why is that? Truth. All these things because the laws, statutes, commandments aren't implemented. So therefore you're gonna have a bunch of chaos and unrighteousness and chaos, unrighteousness, and all these different things taking place because there's no order here. Let me get that. Type in. I'm thinking about Isaiah 20, 25, 24. Let me just get that right quick. Isaiah 24. There you go. Isaiah 24. Chapter 4, it says, "The earth mourneth and fadeth away, the world languisheth and fadeth away, the haughty people that do languish. It says, the earth also is defiled under the inhabitants thereof, because they have transgressed the laws, changed the ordinance, broken the everlasting covenant." All right, so everything's defiled right now because this devil is in power and he's polluting everything. He turned everything upside down, and you know this is the product of what happens when you don't keep the law, statutes, commandments. All right, look at these past kingdoms. You know, they didn't follow the law, statutes, commandments, and look where they at now. You know, they are they are destroyed. You know, that's why it says in Wisdom of Solomon, the first chapter, 15 verse, it says, "For righteousness is immortal." All right, so you know, in order to prolong, you know, in order to live, you know, you got to be righteous. All right, and the law, statutes, commandments produce that. All right, they produce life. All right, and that's how you, and that's why in the kingdom we gonna reign forever. You know, Lord willing, part of the elect, we gonna reign forever. Why? Because it's in righteousness. Everything's in order. You know how it's supposed to be, and no one's gonna be able to take us down. All right. So that's what's coming. All right, and the product of that is that these other nations as well, you know, because they ain't gonna be in the new covenant. We gonna be perfect. You know, part of the new covenant is getting new bodies, having the law, statutes, commandments, you know, put in our inward parts. You know, because the reason why we in this predicament now is because we sin. All right, that's why we in captivity. That's why we went through, you know, captivity over captivity over captivity. You know, Deuteronomy 28:15. You know, if you disobey my word, basically, all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee. All right. So, but now we coming out of that. Right. Let me get so like I just had it in my mind. Hopefully it comes back. But let me get a Psalm 98. I'll get the last verse. Psalm 98:9. It says, before the Lord, it says, I'll start at 5. It says, sing unto the Lord Yahweh with the harp, with the harp and with the voice of a psalm, with trumpets and a sound of a cornet. Make a joyful noise before the Lord Yahweh, the King. Let the sea roar in the fullness thereof, the world and they that dwell therein. It says, let the floods clap their hands, let the hills be joyful together before the Lord. For he cometh to judge the earth, with righteousness shall he judge the world, and the people with equity. All right, and that's what the whole earth is waiting for. You know, is a new ruler. You know, and that's gonna be through Yahushua, King David, 144,000 on down. All right, and you know, through that, it's gonna be beautiful. You know, going to Isaiah the 2nd chapter. Start at 1. It says, the word that Isaiah the son of Amos saw concerning Judah and Jerusalem. And it shall come to pass in the last days that the mountain of the Lord's house shall be established in the top of the mountains, and shall be exalted above the hills, and all nations shall flow unto it. All right, and that's happening right now. All right, in the last days, you know, the truth is being proclaimed. All right. Let me see. Yeah, okay. It says the last days prophecy. Mountains symbolize governments. The body of Israel, beginning with the elect, is going to be exalted. All right, it all starts with the elect. All right, 3rd verse, it says, and many people shall go and say, come ye, and let us go up to the mountain of the Lord, to the house of the power of Jacob, and he will teach us of his ways, and we will walk in his paths. For out of Zion shall go forth the law and the word out of the word of the Lord from Jerusalem. And he shall judge among the nations, and shall rebuke many people, and they shall beat their swords into plowshares, and their spears into pruning hooks. Nation shall not lift up sword against a nation, neither shall they learn war anymore. All right. It says, O house of Jacob, come ye, and let us walk in the light of the Lord. All right. So ultimately, you know, this truth is going to be the standard. You know, walking in the ways of the Lord is going to be a standard. All right. And these people are going to understand that, you know, there's no better thing but to walk in the ways of the Lord, to fear the Lord. All right. Now, it won't come with some judgment, you know, but the elect going to attain, you know, the elect going to understand, perceive, you know, and through the judgments, you know, that's when these people are going to start getting right. All right, because look right now, people don't want to get right. Why? Because there's no judgment. You know, because sentence against evil work and not executed speedily, therefore the hearts of the sons of men is fully set on them to do evil. Let me turn this up right quick. All right. And then the kingdom is going to be peaceful. You know, there's not going to be war anymore. You know, look at the so-called Middle East right now, getting bombed the fuck up. You know, And that just goes to show you that those aren't the true people in the, in that land. All right. And everyone is coming up against these devils because they starting to see who they really are. They're a cancer. All right. But let me go to I'm gonna start wrapping it up. This is Sirach 10:1. It says, a wise judge will instruct his people, and the government of a prudent man is well ordered. As the judge of a people is himself, so are his officers, and what manner of man the ruler of the city is, such are all they that dwell therein. All right, look at the rulers. Bunch of homos, bunch of PDFs, bunch of warlocks and whole nine, but fucking just evil, evil niggas. All right, so are they not gonna produce evil niggas as well? Look at the people in the world. Just wicked. This place is totally consumed with wickedness. All right, that's why the Lord gonna bring them plagues. So in the 2nd Ezra 15 chapter, it says, for wickedness hath exceedingly polluted the whole earth. All right, the Lord is mad. Scripture says her sins have reached unto heaven, talking about Babylon. So the Lord can't wait to destroy this place. All right, just as we waiting, the Lord can't wait as well. All right, but he's bound by his word, which is prophecy. But reading on down, it says, an unwise king destroyeth his people, but through the prudence of them which are in authority, the city shall be inhabited. The power of the earth is in the hand of the Lord, and in due time he will set over it one that is profitable. All right, and the Lord, he's about to set over the proper rulers, aka the Israelites, beginning with Yahushua, King David, on down. All right, we're going to get Romans 8, and we're going to wrap it up. This is Romans 8 and 22. It says, for we know that the whole creation groaneth and travaileth in pain together until now. All right. I'll start at 19. This is 19 is what I want. Romans 8 and 19, it says, for the earnest expectation of the creature waited for the manifestation of the sons of God. All right, so ultimately the whole creation is waiting for the sons of God, the Israelites, to come into power and to rule the earth, And once that takes place, bro, it's game over, It's gonna be, it's gonna be a dream, all right? Not right now, we're living in a nightmare, all right? But soon it's about to end. It says, for the creature was made subject to vanity, not willingly, but by reason of him who was subjected the same in hope. All right, so ultimately, the Lord created us to go off, for this purpose, all right, for his will, for prophecy, ultimately. It says, but the creature itself also shall be delivered from the bondage of corruption into the glorious liberty of the children of the Most High. For we know that the whole creation groaneth and travaileth in pain together until now. All right, so ultimately, when, the solution is, Yahushua returning, destroying this wicked society and sending up a righteous kingdom. All right, that's going to be that's the solution ultimately. All right, this is Proverbs 22. I'm thinking about something else. Proverbs 29:2. It says, Proverbs 29:2, when the righteous are in authority, the people